Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Hello. I've been putting off making this video for a minute because I genuinely don't feel like doing it, but I think now that it is a new year, it is finally time for me to reorganize my bookshelves. So hello. I've been gone for about a month. We can just skip over that, okay? We don't need to talk about that, but just know that I'm ready to come back on this channel with a new mindset, new energy, and the best way to start that off is by reorganizing my bookshelves. I've had the same bookshelf, this bookshelf, for about, I want to say 3 years, maybe 4 years. And as you guys know, I recently got a new bookshelf that I built on this channel like a few months ago. If you haven't checked out that video, go ahead and do that. That was a great time. But with that being said, I have 2 bookshelves that I have not really touched in a long time. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been reading some of the books I own, but in terms of like actually like redecorating them, like making them look nice, I haven't done that in a really long time. I kind of want to look at my bookshelves with like a new lens, if that makes sense. I feel like reorganizing my bookshelves would give me a chance to look at books that I haven't been paying attention to, notice books that I haven't given much of a thought lately, because as you guys know, I have been buying a lot of books as of the past few months and I have barely been touching them. So I think this reorganization process is beneficial in every regard, but especially in terms of my reading. We're gonna get to this shelf. I usually film in front of this shelf. This is my main shelf. It's closest to my bed. This is the shelf that I mostly pull books out of. But then we have the other shelf that's across the room. Oh, the lighting over here is atrocious. Sorry. But this is the shelf that I built a few months ago, and it's slowly collecting books on it, and I think I have an idea of what I want to do with both of these. Okay, for this shelf, I think I just want to focus on making it into a romance shelf. I've been getting a lot of romance books over the past like 2 years, and they've been taking up the shelf across my room. But now that I have this shelf, I feel like I can prioritize making this shelf just like really pretty in terms of like romance books, you know, because most romance books have like the cartoon covers with pastel colors, and I really like that look, and I just want my whole entire shelf to be of that. Meanwhile, the other shelf, I think I'm gonna make it into a fantasy shelf, maybe. I don't know. I really want to do something different, and I think that's a good way to start. The shelf hasn't filled up that much since the last time you saw it. When I'm buying new books, I'm putting it on the shelf closest to my bed so I can just pull out the book whenever I'm ready to read it. But I want to fill up this shelf a little bit more, and I feel like having this be my romance shelf will like make it more eye-catching and make me want to read again the books that I have been buying. I don't have an idea of how I want my bookshelves to look. I just know the vibe that I'm going for with both of them. Okay, let's get this started, shall we? This isn't a tour. This is not a tour whatsoever. I'm just showing you what I'm working with. This shelf here is mostly my romance shelf. Okay, this bottom shelf is just arcs. Now I think I want to keep the arcs and stuff at the bottom. It's arcs, but it's mostly just books that I annotated for school that I've kept over the long course of time. Most of these books I haven't picked up since high school, but I'm keeping them because I put a lot of work into annotating them. These bottom 2 shelves right here are definitely gonna be a little bit readjusted. This shelf, mostly just romance, I'm gonna put in shelf across. I think I want to do like a rainbow theme for that shelf. Again, most of this shelf is just fantasy with the occasional like YA fiction in between. There's not really much to really do with this in terms of like changing it up. I have my Percy Jackson books here, and then my School for Good and Evil box set. I have some books just on my floor. Like, you see the disorganization. I'm getting rid of some books, but like for the most part I'm keeping what I have. I just want to change it, you know? And I think this is a good place to start. This is my K-pop shelf. I'm not moving that, I don't think. I think I want to keep that where it is. However, I do have one K-pop album on the other shelf just because it doesn't fit the length of the shelves over here, so I might move that over there. I don't know. Possibilities are endless, guys. Possibilities are truly endless. I'm gonna start taking off these romance books and moving them on my other shelf, including my Alice Oseman verse books. This bottom shelf is a mixture of romance and manga and fantasy, and it's just like I said, nothing's really organized. Some arcs are mixed into my shelf. It really just depends on how I thought it looked at the time. I was just like, that looks like it could go there. I also want to dust off my shelves. My shelves are low-key very dusty, so I think I'm gonna like do that while I'm moving stuff around, just like a quick little clean. Okay, let me go dust off my shelf and then I'll be right back. All right, I have dusted off every single shelf in this bookcase, and with that I have all of these books. I don't know if you can see it, my leg's blocking like most of them. I know for a fact that along with my K-pop shelf, I'm also keeping these two shelves the same, because this top shelf has some of my favorite books of all time. Legendborn, Blood Like Magic, the Gilded Ones. Those deserve to be at the top, I think. Like, I'm not making a hierarchy system or anything, but I just like having those books at the top. And then down here is my Children of Blood and Bone series and my special editions of Six of Crows and Shadow and Bone. And those are just really pretty, and I feel like those should be displayed. I don't know if I should do like a face out system where I just have them like this, but yeah, I think I'm gonna keep those books where they originally were placed. Everything else though, I don't really know. I have all of my books just piled in front of me and I don't even know where to start. So for this third shelf right here, I think, what am I thinking? Okay, no. For this shelf, this is where my Percy Jackson books are, along with my School for Good and Evil series box set. Now, I haven't had the books in the actual box in a long time, because first, I don't remember why, but I took all of the books out of the box and just put them on a pile, on the floor. I don't know why, but I want them back in the box and just displayed that way, so I think I'm gonna do that right now. If you guys don't know, because I don't think it was on this, it was on my original channel, but I spent a good chunk of time reading the first book in the School for Good and Evil series, and I remember not liking it. Like at all. Like, I liked the movie more than I liked the book, and the movie itself was okay, but I feel like it did some things better than the book did. But I know that this is like a lot of people's favorite series, so I just wanted to like buy the box set just to see if I'd like it. And now, will I ever get to it? I hope so, because I literally bought the box set for it, but I guess we'll just have to see. I think I'm gonna put all my middle grade books in this shelf. Like, I have my Arc of Wild Seed Witches by Marty Dumas. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I think it would go here. I don't feel like looking through these piles, so if I find more middle grade stuff, I'll just put it in this shelf. Not that there's much room, there's like this much room left, but that's fine. I could just extend it down. I don't really know. Because I have all of my books pulled out, mostly my romance books, I kind of want to start on the other shelf. So I'm just gonna like migrate over there. All right, we are at this bookshelf. I brought stack here, and a few more. There are already, like I said, a few books on this shelf. I'm gonna take down the ones that are not romance. So some of these you guys already know I bought, like Wings of Ebony, Amari and the Night Brothers, Rise of Kyoshi. I just put them on this shelf simply because I felt like it. I don't know. This is what I am working with here, okay? Like I said, I don't really know where to start exactly. I think I am really gonna do the rainbow pattern. I think I'm gonna mostly focus on it on this side of my bookshelf, and then this side can be dedicated to like, I don't know. I want to read more manga and thrillers this year, so maybe I could dedicate this side, this empty side, to just that, and then this side to romance, and then this middle part can be for like my favorite series. So I already have Heartstopper here. I have volume 5. I have the other 4. They are just with my friend still. I think I mentioned this, but my friend, she has them and we have yet to meet up to get those back. So when those get back in my possession, I can put those here. And then I have the first Addicted to You book at the bottom right here. I think I've said this too. Once I have all of those physical books in my possession, I will reread the series. And I think all like 12 of those books are just going to take up this whole entire slot. I have a few other books that are technically in that series, technically not. I have the Bad Reputation duology. This is in the Addicted to You universe, but like with the side characters, and I think I'm gonna put these at the bottom here. Ooh. I low-key forgot I had them because they were hiding behind my Priory of the Orange Tree book, which was on my other shelf, and that book is huge, so no wonder why I didn't see it. But yeah, besides that, I think everything else is just free range to do whatever I want. I needed to remind myself how a rainbow looks, because why am I low-key forgetting? Okay, I'm gonna figure this out, and then I'll get back to you. All right, I think I did it. I think I have completed this one shelf. Let me double check the other books over here real quick. I still have Half of a Yellow Sun by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I have yet to read this. I bought this when I was in South Africa last year, and I still have not read it. So that's going in the green slot. I really like how my shelves ended up turning out. Like, I love how the rainbow looks, especially the pink shelf. Now, I recently bought some books. I almost forgot to put these on my shelf. I was like, I'm forgetting something. The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. I hope that's how you pronounce her name. Heard nothing but good things about this, so I got it. But the main thing that I got, a complete collection of all of Jane Austen's novels. And look at it, it's so pretty. It's so gorgeous. Yeah, I think I'm gonna face this out on my shelf because where else am I gonna put it? I'm not gonna lie, my shelves are kind of stacked. I was not expecting this to be that full. Like, I knew I spent a lot of money on romance books, especially last year, but I didn't expect it to look like this. I think I'm gonna put my copy of Pride and Prejudice probably right next to it. I don't know. No matter where I put them, they always kind of stand out the most because of how pretty they are. So I think having a whole shelf dedicated to just like classic books might be the best way to go for this. And then I'll put The Wedding Date. One thing about the rainbow shelves display being like this is I'm gonna have to shift stuff down or up depending on what color the book is so it can fit on the designated shelf. I'm gonna have to make sure that I put them in the correct spot or else it's going to bug me because OCD. I'm mostly focused on this side just being like kind of a catch-all shelf. Top shelf is manga and graphic novels. This shelf is going to be dedicated to more like literary fiction and memoirs that I read because I am going to be reading a lot of memoirs. As some of you guys know, this semester I'm taking a nonfiction writing class where I'm mostly just reading memoirs and biographies all day. So that's what this shelf is dedicated to. This shelf, like my sci-fi fantasy shelf, is going to be dedicated to YA books, but this is also like a catch-all shelf, so it could be like a YA thriller, YA fiction, I don't know. This is really just like whatever ends up fitting there, that's where it's gonna go. And then this shelf is like my hardcover romance slash fiction shelf. I only say fiction because Yellowface is not a romance, but it looked nice with the other books, so I put it here. I didn't like the way that the hardcover romances were looking with the paperback, so I just put the hardcovers over here. I don't really have many hardcover romances, so it wasn't really that hard to put them in there. I like how this looks. I like how it looks a lot actually, and it makes me so excited to start reading. But yeah, that's this shelf. Let's move on to the other one. For this shelf, like I said, I don't really have much of a plan for this one. It's kind of just gonna be like whatever works, works. The stack isn't that big, which really put into perspective really how much romance I have been reading because this shelf is gonna look kind of empty compared to how that shelf, this shelf is gonna definitely have room to fill. I don't really know what changes I want to make though, if I'm being honest. Like, I know that this here is going to be middle grade, so I think Amari and the Night Bros, you're gonna go here, and then I guess this can be the YA shelf. I don't have much YA sci-fi or dystopian books, so again, room to fill. Then I think that's it for YA. Yeah, because all my other YA books are fiction and they're on the other shelf over there. I have a pile of books here and they're mostly the Ember and the Ashes series by Saba Tahir. This is a 4-book series and the books are pretty long, so they take up a decent amount of shelf space. I think what I want to do is put them on a higher shelf because it is a series, and this is a series that I think I mentioned before that I want to give a 3rd chance. 3 times might seem a little excessive, but I've mentioned before how I do want to finish this series. I always get to like, I think the middle of the 3rd book and then I just stop, but I do want to finish it, and I think in order for me to remember to finish it, I need to put it on a shelf that's a little bit high. So I think it's going to go on the same shelf it was before. I think the only difference is I'm going to put it as a face out, specifically this book because it's hardcover compared to the other books in the series that I have are just paperback. So I'm gonna do this, and then the other books of the series are gonna be behind this one. What looks good next to this? Should I try to go for like a face out on each shelf? Because I have a lot of like nice looking fantasy books, but I don't really know how that would go. I think we'll figure that out along the way. But yeah, I think I'm gonna put S here. S is a book that I have no intention of reading. It just looks cool. Like, it's probably the only book on my shelf that I really do not really care to read. I just saw it on TikTok, and it's one of those books where like it's an interactive book where you figure out the mystery with the characters, and like there are notes that fall out of the book that you can read along with the characters and stuff like that. It's wrapped because there's like a lot of stuff in here. Once you open it, a lot of stuff just falls out, and I have no intention of really doing that. I just really like the way that it looks. Like, it looks so mysterious. And then I think Eye of the World goes there, and then Empire of the Vampire. I'm not really against having like a lot of room on my shelves. Like, yeah, it looks empty, but that makes me more excited to buy books. So I don't really mind if there's like more space here than in another place. It really doesn't matter that much to me. And then we can put Priory of the Orange Tree here. I think I'm gonna put my special copy of Song of Achilles here. My original copies of Song of Achilles is on my romance shelf, but this is so pretty that I just have to display it. And it doesn't really look like a romance book. Like, this copy of it does not. Even the original copy doesn't give off romance vibes. So I think I'm just gonna put this as a face out because it looks really cool. Oh wait, this, A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, is actually a YA fantasy. So I think that can go here. Let me shift this. I like how it looks next to Rise of Kyoshi. And then next to Circe, I think I'm gonna do my Poppy War trilogy next to it. I think that's it. Wow, this is so weird. Okay, let me show you guys what's happening. Top shelf, I think I'm gonna do what I said before. I think I'm gonna have every shelf have a face out book. Yeah, I like the way that looks. Okay, so this is top shelf with all of my faves on it. I like how this looks so much. I like having Brie have her own shelf. Period queen. Shadow and Bone / Children of Blood and Bone shelf. I like that was a tongue twister for a second. And Ember and the Ashes, along with like technically my epic fantasies. These I would consider epic fantasies, along with Priory of the Orange Tree, which is down here. But I like the way it looks down here, so I'm not gonna move it. And then we have Song of Achilles, The Poppy War, Circe, Priory of the Orange Tree. And then this is my K-pop shelf. I never show my K-pop shelf, at least not on purpose. It's just part of the background. I don't feel like moving all of the albums. Not today. I really don't. So I'm just not going to. Wow, the exposure is so... Why does it look like that? And then here we are with the middle grade shelf. I like this shelf. I like it a lot. Low-key, once I start getting into my Heroes of Olympus bag, I'm gonna dedicate a shelf just to Percy Jackson and that whole universe. So that shelf might be moving soon. And then down here is my YA shelf. Obviously it's small. This shelf is just a bunch of arcs. This shelf right here, a work in progress. Like I said, it doesn't really bother me that my shelves aren't full, or at least don't look like they're full anymore, because it just gives me motivation to buy more books. If I have the space to do it, I can do it. I will do it. I do like how this looks though. Like I like what I did here with this. I think that's it for this video. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed watching me make all of this happen, thank you. If you like to follow me on my social medias, here they are. I mostly interact on Twitter and sometimes Instagram. If you like to follow me on all the others, such as TikTok and anything else that exists, I probably have an account over there, and it's gonna be linked in the description below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone.